Hi, my students. In this video, I'm going to explain if a clause. You have to know that there are 4 types or kinds of if clause. If clause type 0, if clause type 1, if clause type 2, and if clause type 3. In this video, I'm going to explain if clause type 0 and if clause type 1. Okay. Now, يا شباب, at the beginning or before we start, there are some notes you have to know about if a clause. If a clause sentence has 2 parts. The first one calls if a clause. The second one calls the main clause. The main clause, which means the result clause, because it includes a result of an action. For example, if she goes to bed early, this is if clause. Okay, comma. She will get up early. This is main clause. We can make shift between if clause and main clause. Okay, which means we can put main clause at the beginning, then if clause, but you have to drop comma. For example, she will get up early if she goes to bed early. Okay? Okay, now يا شباب, I'm going to explain if clause type 0. We use if clause type 0 when you want to talk about a true or fact. How? يعني if a result of an action is always true. For example, if you mix red and blue, you get purple color. Okay يا شباب. Okay. Now يا شباب, الفورمال if clause type 1, if plus subject. If a subject is singular, we have to add s or es to verb. If a subject is plural, we just use base form of a verb without adding s or es to it. Main clause, subject plus verb. If a subject is plural, if a subject is singular, you have to add s or es to verb. We use don't or doesn't to change sentence from affirmative into negative with if clause type 0. Okay? Go to examples. Look, water turns to ice if the temperature falls below 0. Now look to this sentence. The subject is singular, so we add s to verb. Water turns to ice if the temperature falls below 0. If we deal with I as a plural. If I drop the glass, it breaks. To change sentence from affirmative into negative, as I told you with if clause type 0, we use doesn't with singular, we use don't with a plural. For example, if plants don't get enough sunlight, they die. Okay? Okay. Now يا شباب, if clause type 1, when do we use if clause type 1? We use if clause type 1 when we want to talk about a possible future situation. يعني a result of an action is possible. يعني to talk about possibility. يعني a result of an action isn't fact. الفورم يا شباب, if plus subject with if clause part or section. If plus subject plus verb 1. If a subject is singular, we have to add s or es to verb. Okay? If a subject is a plural, we cannot add s or es to verb. With main clause, subject plus will plus verb, one base form of a verb. Okay يا شباب. Example, if he earns some money, he will travel. Another example, if my sister goes to London, she will learn a lot of English. Okay? So I'm not sure if she or if my sister goes to London, she will learn a lot of English. which means if my sister travels to London or goes to London, she may learn a lot of English. If he earns some money, he may travel. Okay? Now to change sentence from affirmative into negative with if clause type 1, just with if clause part, just add don't or doesn't. With singular, use doesn't. With plural, you have to use don't. Okay يا شباب? With main clause or result clause, just add not after will. For example, if she doesn't use her mind, she will lose much. Another example, if he doesn't earn some money, he will not travel. Okay? Okay, now يا شباب, if clause, there are some points you have to know about if clause. When we can use when instead of if clause 0. Okay? For example, when plants don't grow enough, they die. You can say if plants don't grow enough, they die. We can use provided that as long as, even if, instead of if. If, for example, you will pass the exam provided that you study hard, you can say you will pass the exam if you study hard. Another example, I will buy the books even if they are expensive. Another example, I will keep this mobile phone as long as it works. You can say I will keep this mobile phone if it works. Now يا شباب, unless, we can use unless instead of if not. For example, if I don't sleep enough, I will get tired. You can put unless instead of if and not. يعني you have to drop if and don't. Look, unless I sleep enough, I will get tired. I think يا شباب, it's so easy, not difficult, not hard. If you have any question, you can ask me. Thank you for you